Good early morning, everybody. It's Lorraine Alternative Homesteading, December 13, 2024, and it's a ridiculous 4 a.m. in the morning. Why at 4 o'clock in the morning, you would ask? Although some of you guys are awake also, because I was put to sleep by the controllers utilizing radio frequencies to knock me out while I'm watching a movie. And then I wake up and they knock me out again. Before you know it, 4 hours go by. Yeah, and this is real, folks. But anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. Hit the thumbs up. I'm going to do a little Q&A here. I'd save this response. And this is from Quora. The question was it was a year ago that I answered it, and then I just received a response. Do gang stalkers poison? You know, those community-based losers, like your neighbors, the Fusion Center operatives, InfraGard, the retired military that really should be in prison. My response is yes. They poison the interior of your residence with dust, nanotech, poison your food, rot food, burn food, and create fungus in food, even newly purchased organic food. And you could probably see that my phone is wobbling. Yeah, you can probably see that my phone is wobbling. I'm seeing that it's wobbling because it's third-party interference. They infect your pets' water, poison their food and bedding. Under a black light, you'll see a yellow, drippy substance on surfaces and in your bathroom. There are white, powdery substances that form on interior windows. They carry around vials of insects to let loose in your home, tiny spiders, ants, flies, and they'll spread it around outside your windows and doors. So I received a response. And I have more to say about the insects and bugs, and I know that you guys have commented in the comments section about how they do this in your residence. The person by the name of Kaybri responds, yes, this is real. I've seen it and I've been through it. When I was in what I call the House of Horrors from the age of 15 to 19, I haven't ever fully talked about it with anyone because it sounds crazy. Not only was I sex trafficked without me realizing it, I was being drugged and assaulted. What you explained about everything being infected, like your food, water, air, everything, was exactly what was happening to me. They even put gasoline in my foundation makeup so that it would ruin and burn my skin. Luckily, I smelled it because it was so strong. I eventually found the can of gasoline that was used to do it. Oh, yeah, and they put oil underneath my Rubbermaid boxes in my shed. Yes. And of course, nobody from the sheriff's department came to photograph it when I called. So she says, luckily I smelled it because it was so strong. I eventually found the can of gasoline that was used to do it. The ringleader of all of this was obsessed with me, and I was stalked everywhere I went until eventually they held me hostage for the last few months I was there. When I called out to God, he literally saved me. Never will I ever doubt the realness of God after seeing his power before my own eyes. It was literally a fight between good and evil, darkness and light, right in front of me. They couldn't get to me or hurt me any longer. It was amazing to see. I eventually was able to leave and never look back. It all ended in 2013. Now I'm 30. And over the years, I notice I'm still gang stalked from time to time, but it's nowhere near what it was back then. The one in control of all passed away a few years ago. Oh, see? They do disappear. They do disappear. The one in control of it all passed away a few years ago, and I can't explain the weight it has been lifted. But this is some real stuff, and I didn't even have an answer or a name for what was happening to me until I recently came across a story about being gang stalked, quote unquote, on Reddit. Then I burst out into tears once I realized I finally had a name for it all. I finally realized I am not alone. I came to this realization recently, and I have had a really hard time mentally, but now I have closure and I'm ready to start therapy. Still, to this day, I struggle to do simple tasks like cleaning or managing my time because this person controlled every single thing that I did. The way I loaded a dishwasher, if I missed a hair or speck on the floor, if I didn't get back from the store quickly enough. It takes so long to truly heal. I am so genuinely sorry from the bottom of my heart to anyone who has gone through this. Jesus loves you. And then there were a couple of other responses. This is my existence in a nutshell. Never go to the same grocery store back to back. Rarely eat out unless you're cool with the owner. And be mindful. This is spoken about in the book of Lamentations in the Bible. We all have nanotechnology and magnets in us. There's metal in the air, aluminum, barium. They also spray human plasma, which is strange. Alchemy? Stay active, stay at the gym, drink clean filtered water, drink dandelion tea, and take sea moss and shallot, potassium and magnesium. Let's see what else people have written. Somebody writes, gang stalkers put gas, spray, and other chemicals into the target's home through holes in the walls and ceiling. Targeted Individuals Handbook and Gang Stalkers Manual is out on Quora. That's the evidence that gang stalking is real. Another person writes, I was given cyanide 2 different times. Somehow I'm still here. And when I have recorded them talking about how they gave it to 3 other people who were unalived. Somebody responds, well, yeah, that's murder in the 1st degree, or in your case, attempted murder. Where's the justice system? I'm getting really tired of not hearing the justice in this shit. Someone's got to step up. I'm too tired. My brain can't keep up with this stuff anymore. Like, I don't even care sometimes because I'm so tired. And this was written a year ago. So somebody asked, well, how do they give it to you? Do they put it in spray cans or other chemicals into the target's home? Somebody writes, well, their existence is poison. Research and keep activated charcoal on hand. It's able to bind with ingested toxins and carry them out of the body. Whole Foods sell them. Now, this was a year ago. And then one person says, you say you educated yourself? Really? The police are a major part of it, and so is Google. And then another person says, very true. I can witness to that. They have people who work in every facet of life. The district attorneys, the judges and cops. Whole towns are in on it too. Like right here in Jackson County, Kentucky, the entire town is in on it. They're all in on it. They have nothing else to do with their lives. Nothing else to do with their sorry lives but harass an innocent person because they're predators. They're predatory. They have the predatory mindset. They're sadistic losers. They can't do anything. They can't create for themselves, so they have to steal from other people. The whole towns are in it. They can even shut your cell phone down so you can't call any authorities. The only way I survived was because I'm with God and I'm filled with the Holy Spirit. They will use a witchcraft and spells on you. This is a person named Chris is writing this. They never worked on me because when you are with God, they can't harm you. God and his angels protect you on every side. God bless you and seek God. It's the only way you will see. And then one person writes, not all police are involved in these things. There are, of course, some law enforcement who do this. Every police department has its bad apples. But by and large, it's not something that all law enforcement is involved in. Well, that's true. I mean, I remember in Manalapan, there were cops that had no idea that what was going on. It's like they were just doing what they were told to do. Like especially the younger ones there. They had no idea what was happening. But the ones that were involved, the hockey puck, I call them the hockey puck club, because they were the ones that would go out with the former chief of police, Michael Fountain. They were the neighborhood gang stalkers. They were the organized criminals, the cops, the criminals on patrol. There were about 8 of them, and maybe 9. And one was fired. He's the one that filed the lawsuit. And seriously, he would be my very first witness against the Manalapan Police Department, because he was definitely involved. He definitely knew what was going on with me. He's the one that hired an attorney in North Jersey and won the lawsuit. Of course, he was an employee. And with a gag order, though. He won a settlement with a gag order. So it's true. Not all of them are in on it. But all of them know something. But they don't know everything. Like the sheriff knows everything. But actually the sheriff doesn't even know everything, because the fusion center operative lies even to the sheriff's department. Right? They don't tell them everything that goes on because they don't want them to know everything. You think they go to my local sheriff and say, hey, we just burned a Deluminati eye in her building? I don't think they're going to the sheriff and telling them all of those things that are happening. Because then it actually does make them complicit. Because if they know and they're doing nothing, well, it's conspiracy. They're an accessory to a crime. So this person goes on to say, as for Google, it's easy enough to come to the conclusion that Google is involved in this, but honestly, it's just stalkers attacking who make use of Google's many tools to do this. Stalkers love to make victims believe this, though. They like to make you think that it's the police, but they prefer to make you believe it's the FBI or the government who are your stalkers. Why? Because if you believe those are your stalkers, who will you call for help? They want you to believe that there's no help. That is not true. And as this person says a year ago, and I'm not going to agree with this, but in some instances I do agree that you need to file a complaint. Now this person says it's not true. The FBI are actually those you need to contact. I know this firsthand. Unfortunately, they can't always completely stop an attack. They may treat you as though they don't believe you when you call. They know your devices are watched and listened by hackers, and so you know your attackers. Let me just scroll down here. Can be any number of organizations or parts of organizations like the Freemasons or the rogue police officers, biker gangs. And they can be individuals who get angry with you for any number of reasons. Who knows? People, groups of people do this. This man says, my attack began with about 200 bikers driving by my home, and then a lone straggler who wore a black ski mask. Oh my goodness! I wonder if it was my neighbor. He wore a black ski mask in the month of May while he was tearing down my newly installed gate. Wow, this must be in the Gang Stalkers playlist. The black ski mask, huh? Interesting. He said his lone straggler wore a black ski mask and did half a circle up his driveway directly in front of him. He said, I still didn't realize that it was meant for me personally. A neighbor, a friend, had lured me out of the end of my driveway, and it was her turning and leaving without saying that I needed to do anything that made me realize that it was directed at me. And she, my best friend, that's how she's always introduced me. It was she who helped arrange this. Within an hour, a car club of all trucks with glass packs, things that make your muffler sound really loud, started driving past my house and would come back around over and over again. Why? My friend was angry and jealous that I had made a new friend. So she told the new friend's brother something I said to make him angry. And he was a bandito, a Texas biker gang. And she had a son-in-law whose family member was involved in the Mexican mafia, so he asked them to help. A very close relative of mine was and always had been angry with me over a failed relationship that I had nothing to do with, except that she, the person that had the relationship, was my best friend. This relative contacted my last boss, who has already been organized stalking me for 2 years, recruiting co-workers to help. Some knew exactly what was happening, and some had no real idea. The relative convinced my ex-boss and another relative that I needed to be taught a lesson. And they helped me with custody suit, helped me in a court fee that ended up not being able to pay, as the custody suit cost me every penny I had, plus it ruined my credit. And no, I didn't lose custody. In fact, the judge told my ex that he'd cut a certain appendage off him and make him eat it if he had the nerve to return to court and get custody of a 12-year-old that he'd paid almost no child support for ever from his mother, me, who'd raised him on her own. How much of my attack did I just tell you about? Just the first day. Do you see how easy stalking can grow in a short period of time? This doesn't include rigging of my car with an unalive switch, using my revision and car radio to get me to follow them out to a prison in Texas, like at 3 a.m. That was within the first 5 days. My story goes on, and yes, a detective and another police officer helped, but the entire police department in the city I live in are not crooked. They're just a few, and both ended up joining in the group in a strange way. And oh yes, some Freemasons in my area participated in my stalking and directed energy attacks. No, my stalking and attacks have not ended, because that family member sold my information to other organized stalkers. So I have a huge group of stalkers and attackers. It's all bizarre. But it's unfortunately absolutely true and real. Okay, so the original question, was, do gang stalkers poison? And I responded that yes, they do. They poison the interior of your home with nanotech. They poison your food, burn your food, create fungus and mold, even in newly purchased organic food. So anyway, I look forward to your questions and comments down below. Have you had your food tampered with or poisoned? How has that affected you personally? How about your pets? Well, I will tell you, and I'm going to do another video on this because I've got a lot more to say on it, but they released, and I don't know if it's hundreds or thousands of these disgusting ladybugs in my nonprofit cat rescue building. But I'm going to save that video for another time. I was actually going to record it tonight, and they knocked me out. So I look forward to talking to you soon, and I hope you all have a good night, good morning, good day.